Start recording, and I think we're live now in the webinar. Okay guys, it's Anthony Hayes, Tony Hayes here, and I've got Robert Stone Jr. with me, and we're going to talk. I'm going to be talking to Robert about a press release case study that we've got. That Robert did a press release around a Google Hangout interview that we did together with Holly Cooper, and that was about her strategies for ranking Google Hangouts. Now, that press release has since gone on to get over 700,000 views, and that's quite remarkable, really, for a story that's about SEO, first of all. You can see how big the marketplace is for that kind of information. And basically what I want to do is just have a chat with Robert, see if we can get some good information about how it was done and how easy or how difficult it was. And we can look at the elements of the press release as well. And then I've got a little surprise for Robert as well, because I was doing something just before we came on to this webinar. And I think from a sort of previous run that we did of this video, I think he's going to be pleasantly surprised about something. So we'll get to that in just a few minutes as well. So if you keep watching, we're going to give you an opportunity at the end to join us for 2 free webinars, where we're going to look at what was done, what could be done better, and we're going to teach it within 2 webinars. And these are free webinars, okay? We've got a little bit of a gap after doing the How to Build a Private Blog Network webinar series. The next series is going to be about WordPress SEO, but I've got a gap in between for a couple of weeks anyway, so we'll fill that gap with a press release course, okay, for over 2 webinars. And by the end of that course, you will be pretty savvy about how to create press releases pretty quickly, and you'll be able to join us in those webinars for free and learn for free. Okay, so Robert, welcome, and let's just get stuck in here. Okay. What I want to talk about first is the elements of the press release. Now, here on that press release screenshot that we've shared, that you shared with me before. Sorry, I just went onto a sales page of mine now. This is a press release here, okay? And you can see it's not that much text in there. How long did it take you to write this?
Well, probably about a half an hour for the first draft.
Right. Okay. And I know that you're a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to this thing. I can imagine you went back and you were testing and tweaking and stuff like that as well. When you're doing the editing in Newswire, do you find it's a problem to go back and re-edit things in there?
Oh, it's pretty simple. All I do is save to draft, and I can preview what I've just done, and I could check it out, and if I decide to change anything, I just go back and I click on the edit button, and it opens up the HTML editor, and I can just start again.
Yeah, okay. Looking at this page, it doesn't tell me on this page, does it say how many people viewed this particular post on this page? No, I don't think it does. Okay, so I need to go over to sorry?
Yeah, there's a statistics section for all your press releases within Newswire, and
within the members,
to find the number of views, and
yeah,
right,
that's
within the members area.
The members area. So if we look at, we've done a blog post over here that we published on my blog. You did a guest post for me over there, and what we can see is I look at the views, and this was taken how long ago? This particular screenshot.
A couple of weeks ago.
So that was 2 weeks ago at 632,000 views. And now how many views you got right now?
Just over 700,000.
So that's another 70,000 views in 2 weeks. Yeah, that's just incredible.
That's right.
Yeah, that's incredible statistics. Okay. Now, with this particular, and let's just jump out of this here, and we'll go back over to that screenshot I had initially over here. So with this particular press release, you're getting a lot of traffic coming to the actual press release. And if we come down a little bit, what we can find is we've got a recording of that. Is that the interview, recording the interview we did with Holly? Or is it?
That is. Yes, we did a hangout with Holly.
Right. Yeah. And so there's an 18-minute video, and that's giving you a link going over to YouTube. I'm looking at the SEO elements right now. and then we've got a link going to the sales page for her product, and we've got a link going back to the Google Hangout one more time, okay, and plus a link to your Google Plus, okay. So you're allowed to get a few links in here, and you can put image and you can put video, which is a good thing that I like particularly about Newswire, that you can do that. You can do multimedia press releases, and it doesn't cost extra to do those multimedia elements in there. With the SEO side, did you do any sort of on-page optimization? Were you thinking that when you were writing this, or was it just you wrote it for the user first and just tweaked a little bit after?
I wrote it for the user, for Holly, and I added a few keywords like you can see in the meta description and in the title, YouTube SEO. So YouTube SEO is my primary keyword.
Right. Okay. And so this is ranking for a lot of keywords, and it's got a huge amount of traffic still coming in from it. That's obviously from the SEO side of things. What I was talking about before was a little surprise I had for you. It's like I've got this little Chrome app over here called Share Metric. Now, if I click on that, give it a second, and it will show us the statistics right now for this particular page. It was showing something slightly different before. Let me just do that one more time. It was showing something completely different a minute ago. Okay, let's try a different one. Well, we know that it's got more than one LinkedIn. This had a lot of Google Plus shares. It was over 1,000 Google Plus shares it had in here. Maybe I need to refresh the page, and it will come back up. Anyway, we'll carry on before we go further with that one. Okay, so here we can see. So it's got right now 131 Facebook likes. I'll just open that again. You've got 2,573 Facebook shares, 14 comments, 2,718 Facebook interactions altogether. Okay. Google Plus.
Oh, that's incredible.
Google Plus, you got 74, which matches up what it says here. Okay. So that you can see that statistics for this actual post, okay? But it's the Facebook shares that are really big. LinkedIn, you've got 11. StumbleUpon, you've got 31. But these are the real shares for Facebook, okay? You can see that the Google Plus matches what it says over here in Newswire, 74. And that can be plus ones, or it can be Google Plus shares. And that's quite phenomenal social sharing interaction, signals, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's really, really serious social sharing going on, which probably accounts for a lot of the traffic as well. Before I jump into the next part, I just want to talk about something really quickly. I read a blog post last week. I like to keep up with what other people are doing and stuff like that, and not necessarily in the sort of product launch, WSO kind of launches kind of thing, but I like to keep up with the guys I call the geeks. The guys that write these really long, interesting sort of blog posts, guest posts and things like that, because they put a lot of work into it, and you can always pick up a few nuggets and see what's really trending and working now in excuse me, my throat is a bit cranky, in the sort of SEO arena right now. You can find out what's working. And what I found was a post that was done by Bright Spark, no, not Bright Spark, I can't remember, something bright. Anyway, what they had said is they had done a case study, and they found that 51% of the traffic was coming from SEO, and only, I think, about 5% came from social media, and there's about 18% other sources. No, sorry, it was 51% from SEO, 5% from paid traffic, and 18% was coming from other sources, which included the social media. Okay, so the SEO, I mean, for people who think it's not important, it can be massively important if you do it properly and you're targeting the right keywords and you're ranking for the right keywords. Okay, but we'll come back to how that's done in just a few minutes. Right, Robert, when you created this post, you probably found you were ranking really quickly.
It was almost immediate, right? Yeah. Within minutes.
Yeah, it always is like that when we're doing with Newswire, and particularly it works really well. When we did the webinar with Michael Taggart, he actually did that live demonstration. He picked somebody from the audience. He wrote a press release live on the webinar. He optimized it on the webinar. He published it on the webinar with the link, and it was all about this guy, what he was doing in Australia. It was just somebody randomly picked from the audience, and he was some kind of SEO consultant in Australia, and I think within about 5 minutes he was ranking for that press release. It was almost instant that he was ranking for that particular press release, and that was kind of fun, exciting webinar. And what happened is we had a lot of people take up the offer at the end to join Newswire, and then we sort of saw it slowly dwindling down. And I think the reason was basically that they probably found it a little bit difficult in the process of writing a press release. So what we're going to do is we're going to help people to be able to do that a little bit better and a little bit easier, and almost semi-automated. We're going to be able to do that as well. Okay, so when that press release was published, what backlinking did you do?
I submitted the press release link to Newswire, and not Newswire, only Wire.
Yeah.
Social header. Also did a spun version of the press release and submitted that to some Web 2.0 sites.
Yeah. Okay. So it was pretty easy stuff. There was nothing that took a long time.
It was all very simple.
Yeah.
It didn't take long after I published the press release to do that. Just a few minutes.
Okay. Now, we were talking before we came onto this recording, and what we were talking about is, you know, the sort of benefits you've been getting from this. And what we discovered was that you didn't have any elements in here yet for being able to do things to sort of remarket to people who have visited, and it's a kind of a missed opportunity. And sort of following on from that discussion, what I decided we could do was to create a system. I've already got it in my head. What we can do is we can put into these press releases, for example, links that have a retargeting pixel. Whether you do Facebook advertising or Google PPC or whatever, it's good to have them there because it's not expensive to do, and you just got to learn how to do it. It's really very easy to do. It's very simple to do, and it's very cheap to do as well. It doesn't cost very much money, especially because it's retargeting, because you kind of had that traffic initially anyway. All we got to do is put a retargeting pixel on a particular page. Okay, and from that, then what you can do is you can just retarget. But another thing we can do is put elements in there to build an email list, and that's what's missing. And I think that's a shame. If you had over 700,000 visitors, you could have probably built a very significant list from that just by putting a relevant offer in there, something that was free and something that would have really helped people. Sort of, or not help people, but something that was similar to what Holly was offering, maybe, you know, just something related to it that might help people to take a decision to learn more about Holly's particular this course that Holly did. What we were talking about before, Robert, was basically we've got a gap of 2 weeks. We've just finished the How to Build a PBN webinar series. That was a 6-week series. It was all free content, okay? The next series that we're going to do is WordPress SEO, okay? And it's going to be relevant things from now in WordPress SEO. But we've got a little bit of a gap because I'm finishing PBN Masterclass course in the background, but I've got 2 free Mondays. And what we decided to do was create something called the new ranking blueprint. Okay, so we're going to take elements of what made Robert's press release successful, and we're going to put elements of what I think was missing, and we're going to do that over 2 free webinars, okay, consecutive Monday nights, and we will create from that a complete system that you can follow start to finish. Now, even if you don't get 700 views, you know, what we're seeing on average for a reasonably written, reasonably optimized press releases, around about 10,000 views. And what we need to be able to do with those 10,000 or 20,000, whatever you might be able to get, is to be able to put things in place that you can take advantage of that traffic so that they don't come just at one time and disappear, but they're going to benefit you over a period of time. And that way, you know, you can really increase your marketing efforts with it, okay? So what we're going to do, starting from this Monday, we're going to do part 1, and we will talk about the elements of creating a press release. We'll put in some elements of optimizing it as well, and we will do that live for you. Robert will have a press release written, and I'm going to take it from there and put some SEO elements into it, okay? And I'll give it back to him, and he is going to publish it, okay? And what we will do then is we will get the link from where it should be for the following week, and we will do some backlinking. Okay, so the first Monday we'll be creating the press release. We'll be putting the elements in for retargeting pixels. We'll create an offer as well, so that we can get people to opt in. Okay, and we can we can sort of do a follow-up webinar maybe in about 3 or 4 weeks and look at what's happened as far as the traffic, opt-ins, and we can even do a remarketing campaign in that third webinar, so you can see one being, you know, created from the beginning. It's very, very simple to do, and we can see what, you know, what happens from that. So we can sort of take this further and build those elements in as well, and see if we can take, you know, we can create a really, really nice little blueprint that is super simple for people to do. Now, for the actual press release content, what we will do is we will create a system that we can semi-automate that content as well, okay? So that it's really, really simple to do, because there's no doubt that press releases are working today. Absolutely no doubt about it. You cannot dispute facts and figures. The statistics have been proven time and time again. This is just one of Robert's. And before, Robert, you did another one that had 150,000 views, yeah?
Right, I wrote about a community in Oregon, an alternative community. They had a small radio station that was looking to gain some more viewers, some more listeners, and yes, it's still getting ranked. It's still getting views today, and they've really increased their listenership by over 100%.
Wow!
So
yeah, and that's really important
for them.
Yeah, for small businesses, that's, I mean, it's fantastic to be able to do that, and it really does work. Okay, so what we will do then is, apart from that, sorry, before I go forward, apart from that 150,000, we did some other ones. I remember that we did some other ones, and they had some major traffic as well, and that was around some hangouts that we had done previously. Can you remember any of the sort of traffic figures you had?
Between 7,000 to 12,000 views or so.
Yeah. So we can say it's probably, you know, between 7,000 and 12,000 on average anyway, for a very sort of decent press release if people are doing it properly. Now, the real value in this is not just the traffic. We've got to do something with the traffic. We've got to get something from it, okay? And what we need to get from it is not just sending people to the sales page, which is what Robert did here. I'm sure he made a few sales from it. But what we want to do, this is an article that's all about SEO. If we go and take a look at it again, it's not a very long article. It's got the video on, it's got the links and stuff. But look at the title up here. It's a compelling title, right? So it's got YouTube SEO Secrets Stuns Internet Marketing Experts. 700,000 people viewing an SEO article about SEO, okay? That is a huge community of people interested in that particular subject. It's kind of shocking. Now, if he had got even just 5% of them to opt in, that would have been a major, major list size to get. If there had been retargeting pixel, wherever he's got a link, maybe put a compelling offer at the end, that would have been a major advantage to be able to do some remarketing later to them. So we need to take that into consideration. The traffic is there, the rankings is there by doing press releases. That's not in doubt. Okay, what we want to do is take it a step further, make it easy to write the press releases, have a nice simple little system in place for writing it, for optimizing it, for being able to optimize the reach that you can get from it and optimize the benefits that you can get from it, apart from just the obvious SEO and traffic, because we want to do something with the traffic. When we do SEO, when we do PPC, when we do anything like that, we're doing it for one reason, and the reason is traffic. Now, what we do with the traffic is really, really important, and it has to be addressed because there's too many SEO guys out there who are just, you know, they've got bragging rights to some page one rankings, but they're doing nothing with it. There's very poor click-through rates because they got poorly worded titles and subtitles and things like that. There's no follow-up marketing built in, and it's just a waste. It's a shame. You should always make that your priority, what you're going to be doing after that. So what we want to focus on is getting the marketing elements in place first, and then driving the traffic, okay? And if you can get in the habit of doing that, then you'll be a much, much better marketer, as well as a much, much better, have a much, much better understanding of SEO elements as well, okay? So we can start that probably this Monday, Robert, and what we'll do then is we'll take them through a couple of webinars, and then we'll come back and do a third webinar, maybe a few weeks later. Okay, so we'll do the step-by-step.
I look forward to that.
Yeah, we'll do step-by-step press release optimization. Now, what I need from you is to do one article for me. Could you please write an article that's about 300 words? Yeah, not a long article. We're going to do this in a specific format. Do a 300-word article and put a cliffhanger at the end, put a hook at the end, to make them click on a link to get more information, okay? And I can help you with that, but let's try this and we can build that up so that when we do the press release on Monday, when we do the webinar on Monday, we're ready to publish that press release and we're ready to optimize it as well.
Okay, let's do that.
Yeah, okay. So I think we can probably end this webinar now. What we'll do is we'll put this video inside the page that I've got on the blog where you have done that guest post. We will send some traffic to that via my email list, and we'll get some people opted in so that they can learn this new press release ranking system where we build those marketing elements first. So it's going to be marketing first, traffic second, and we'll look at the SEO stuff and how easy it is to write press releases, because it is working now. There's no doubt about it. It's one of the sort of 4 or 5 things that we've recognized in the last year as definitely working, what's working now, sort of strategies within SEO, and it's got to be, for the traffic statistics here, it's just incredible. Okay, so Robert, thanks for being here. I think we can probably end this, and we'll try and keep it a little bit shorter this time, and we'll get the email out, and we'll do the webinar on Monday.
Thank you, Tony. That was fun.
Okay, mate. Okay, I'll speak to you, sir. Thanks.